A day at the seaside. The sun shone bright, no sign of rain, as Walker stepped aboard the train to take a very special ride and go again to the seaside, to where, once as a little lad, days of childhood fun he'd had. He'd packed his bucket and his spade, with which he'd once sand castles made, and even though he'd learnt to swim, his water wings he kept with him. He'd found his swimming costume too, and stretched it so should fit like new. Expectantly upon his seat, he journeyed off to start his treat. At journey's end he fast alighted, to find the beach he was excited. He smelt the sea, heard gulls that squawked, as briskly full of hope he walked. The promenade he saw, then dashed, and soon he in the water splashed. Still fully clothed and shod was he, wild Walker paddling in the sea. He stopped and sighed, so happy there, then thought, I'll hire myself a chair. The deck chair was a challenge fun, assembling strangely in the sun. But hot, frustrated he soon got. Could he make it? He could not. Shins all bruised and fingers trapped, as ebbing tide around him lapped. Gathering up his pack and chair, he crossed the beach in deep despair. A little boy who'd watched the sight asked him if he could help, he might put up the deck chair for our friend, and his frayed temper quickly mend. And right enough he mastered it, so Walker could relax and sit. Then, hugely thanked and much obliged, the little lad skipped off with pride. His shoes and socks were hung to dry, as Walker lazed 'neath cloudless sky. He dozed and dreamt of summers past, of castles small and beaches vast. Then waking, fearing he might burn, he thought he'd to the sea return, but this time in his costume clad, though getting changed was slightly mad. Struggling under towel huge, where modestly he sought refuge, wrestling, tripping as he dressed, a group there gathered, quite impressed. They laughed and pointed out to each, as Walker rolled around the beach. He then emerged his swim to start, in ancient costume, striped and smart. Flippers, goggles, snorkel too, and harpoon gun he'd bought brand new. The crowd all cheered, and on the sand for photographs they made him stand. Then, shyly and embarrassed he ran like lightning towards the sea. His flippered feet, though uncontrolled, he tripped and to the water rolled, and sat as waves around him lapped, whilst more beach-goers loudly clapped. Unsure of if to laugh or cry, he thought some swimming he would try, and turning over, stretching out, he had a little swim about. With long strong legs and flippers too, he swiftly through the water flew. He swam out miles, turned, swam some more, till ending back upon the shore. Then drying quickly in the sun, he made a castle, which was fun. He dug a moat around his chair, then built high walls with towers square, so accurate each castellation, an architecturally bold creation. Now, sitting in his fortressed seat, his picnic he took out to eat. Ham sandwich first, then tea to sup. As tide encroached, his moat filled up. It wasn't long, as well he knew, the sea would do what sea would do, and so the efforts of his play were gently, slowly washed away. With water swirling round his feet, he gathered up his boots, pack, seat. To deck chair man he bade good day, and wandered quietly away. Across the beach to promenade, departing was a little hard. Nostalgically he glanced behind. Past images flashed through his mind. The day's events brought back that joy of when he was a little boy, and just as he'd done long ago, to railway station walked dead slow. Then on the homeward train reposed. On childhood dreams he once more dozed.